Good afternoon, everybody. You're all very, very welcome here. We're delighted to see so many of you here at Fawcett's annual debate, Power in Crisis. What would more women bring to the table? My name is Ceri Goddard. I'm the Chief Executive of the Fawcett Society, and I will be chairing what will prove to be a very exciting discussion today, I'm sure. Just a couple of various housekeeping things for you. Just to let you know that the hashtag, there'll be tweeting going on, the hashtag for this event is Women in Power. It's being recorded for a podcast, so it's not live streaming, and there'll be some photographs taken from the front. First of all, I mean, it's just wonderful to see so many of you, and I first of all just wanted to say an apology if any of you know people who couldn't get a ticket and try to get in. We actually booked out immediately as we put it out on the website, and we had to extend the venue, which is very exciting. So apologies if you know people who didn't get in, but we'll be in contact with them about their ideas for future events. Before I introduce our speakers and a bit about the format, I just wanted to briefly talk a bit about why we chose this question today. For those of you who don't know, Fawcett Society is working towards a world where women and our rights enjoy equal value and respect with men, and where we have equal power and influence in decisions that affect our lives. And we do this obviously not just because we think it will benefit women's lives and help women fulfill their potential, but because we think this is part of strengthening society as a whole. As our founder, actually, Millicent Fawcett, said, we believe that men cannot be truly free so long as women are held in subjection. So our question today, I think, very much speaks to this. How much is some of the crises of trust and mismanagement and corruption and leadership that we've seen in our major pillars of power, whether it be Parliament or the media or the corporate sector, how much of this can be tracked to the lack of gender balance there? What would these institutions look like? What would they do differently were there more women at these top tables? Would it make a difference, and would it be a good one? To consider these questions with each other and with us, we are delighted that we have three exceptional women who've agreed to come and speak to us today. First of all, we're going to have Caroline Lucas, who is MP for Brighton Pavilion and until recently was the sole female leader of a political party in Westminster. And she's going to be sharing her thoughts as a politician, really, in a context where we still have only 1 in 4 MPs who are women, and 5 out of 23 cabinet ministers are women. In fact, there are more millionaires than there are women in the cabinet at the moment, though, of course, that is not mutually exclusive, thankfully. We also have Dr. Ruth Seeley, who is the Deputy Director, on my left down here, of the Cranfield International Centre for Women Leaders, and she also co-authors the annual FTSE Female Board Report, which you may often see in the press saying whether the percentages have gone up or down, amongst many other research tomes. She is going to be speaking, I suppose, from the perspective more of the kind of corporate business sector, and again in a context where in the last set of figures, she'll probably have newer ones, we've seen female executive directors make up 15% of the FTSE 100 and 9.4% of the FTSE 250. And last but certainly not least, we have Mary Russell, who is... sorry, Riddell. Going to get a really bad column now. Who is...
Just for a change.
Yes. Who is the Telegraph's political columnist, lead political interviewer, and also apparently an ex-editor of Women's Hour. But we have her here today to give her kind of insider view of a media sector where we have only 9.5% of national newspaper editors are women, which is down from 2008, and only 6.7% of CEOs of media companies in the FTSE 100 are women. That's also dropping over the last few years. They're obviously still going to each have views on each other's areas, I'm sure, and see some links between them. We've asked them to focus more really on what they think the difference would be with more women at the top table, as opposed to rehearsing the well-known barriers there are. Of course, I'm sure they will touch on those as well. I'm going to ask by asking each of them to give us a short kind of opening statement, and then I'll give them a chance to comment and respond with each other. Then, of course, I will open it to the floor for you to make your own comments and ask your own questions of our esteemed panel. But without further ado, I'd like to give a warm welcome, please, to our first speaker, who is Caroline Lucas MP.